Hey guys, I accidentally stopped the video, so now you get 2 videos, and hopefully only 2. Alright, so right in here I did 2 circles on the end of my trunk, and then I did a line going around the outside that kind of dips in between those circles. So if I were to show you a bigger version of that, right, don't do this on your paper. It's like if I had the 2 circles, I'll go around, in, and down. And then we're going to just erase the inside where those circles are. Okay, there's a little bit of an indent at the top at the end of the trunk. That's the nose. And they also use it to grab things. Okay, having the 2 circles just helps to kind of map that out. But if you want to, you can also just go in and freehand it. You know, you can have it come out and then back in, kind of like that. That ended up more like ovals instead of circles, but that's okay. And once we have the trunk in, we can erase this extra line. Okay, hardest part is almost over. You guys are doing good. Alright, so where my trunk comes up, we want to bring it up just a little bit further, this line. Because where those tusks come out are behind the trunk. But notice I'm not taking it all the way up and I'm not connecting it. I'm just bringing up a little ways. Then right in here are going to be the eyes. Okay, so to help me figure out where my eyes are, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this line right here come in and it's going to like come up and around right in here and like loop. Okay, you don't need to have the whole line, but just to show you, this is where like the eyes go, which is a little bit more indented. Right, so I added in, coming up from this one, I added in a line that kind of went inwards, and this line that went inwards too. Sorry, it's hard to do this sideways and upside down. Okay. And then right here, right in here, that would be like, kind of like the eyebrows, almost. But just below that, I'm going to add in almost like a sideways egg shape, where the more rounded part is on the inside, and the more pointed part is towards the outside. Right, so if you look real close at those, they're almost like eggs. And then I added in a couple, I like continued these bumps right here and had them come up so that it looked like indents in the skull. And it's going to look kind of weird at first, but as we keep going, it's going to get better. Alright, so we're going to, that's the basics of our face, trunk, and our tusks. You guys, you know, the nice thing about these pre-recorded videos is you can pause and keep going at any point based off of, you know, your classroom, and if I'm going too fast or not. It's hard to tell if I'm going too fast when I'm not there with you. But next, we're going to add in the ears. So on the sides, we're going to have these nice big ears. Okay, they have this curve out at the top, and then it like drapes down and almost comes to a point, but it's like rounded. It's not pointy. And then it comes back up right above the tusks, or right at the tusks. Okay, so I'm going to go in, and at the top of the head here, I'm going to have my ear come up on the other side if you want. Up and out. Almost like a little hill. And then it's gonna come down to here and like back up again. All right, if you want, when elephants' ears, you know, like it's a thinner skin, so sometimes they'll look wavy on the ends. If you want to, you can make it straight or you can make it just a little bit wavy. I'm going to have it come back up again. So here, let me do this a little darker so you guys can see. Okay. And then the other side, I'm going to come out and down and up. I like to have them end at about the same spot, so I think I might shorten this one a little bit. That's better. Okay. So now we have two nice big ears, almost like wings. They kind of remind me of like butterfly wings. Next, we're going to work on the legs. Okay, so we're going to have a leg that comes down just behind the tusk, a little bit more inwards. You don't want them to come out further, like right over here, because that's where the rump or the kind of like the back is going to be. So right at the tusk, right, I'm going to have a leg that comes down and it's going to angle inwards so that when it ends kind of centered down below my elephant, right down here. So I'm going to have a line that comes down. I'm going to do another line next to that disappears behind my trunk here. You don't see the rest of it. And then it fans out at the bottom where it connects to the ground for the hoof. Or the foot. I don't think it's actually a hoof. Sorry. For the foot. Right, so you see how it kind of fans out, angles out, and then it curves around down at the bottom. You can add in the little nails, do 3 upside down U's. Yeah, on the other side, we're going to have the other leg. That one comes out just a little bit further, maybe down to like that point on your ear, or a little bit in from that. And it stops where my trunk is, and then it keeps going. And down right below my trunk, it's gonna actually have like this curve, because I'm going to try and make my elephant look like it's walking. Right, so right here, there's gonna be a curve, and it'll come up ways right there. I'll actually angle that in a little bit more. Alright, so this leg, the elephant is lifting up, right? So if I had, let me angle this. Right, so if this is its leg, and it has like that knee and it's bent, that's why we have that curve right there, if you can see that on my wrist. Okay. And down below the curve, we're going to do the foot, which is going to go up a little ways behind on the sides, and it's going to curve around like that for the foot. And you can even erase a little bit of this line instead of having it go all the way across if you feel like that looks better. You can have it just go down the middle a little bit, or you could have it start from one side and only go like halfway across like that. And you can add in those 3 upside down U shapes to give it even more of a foot look. Sorry, I keep slipping. And this side's a lot bigger than this side. Right, so I think I actually might make this a little thinner and just move that outside line in just a little bit more so that my legs are about the same thickness. If they're off, it's okay. But they hang heavy to this side, so it's like our elephant is turned a little bit to the side, so you'd see just a little sliver of its back leg or body right back here. Right, so coming down from right over here, I'm just going to add in this line that kind of curves, and then just angles down and disappears behind the leg. Okay, so here, let me go ahead and outline everything with black so you can see what I did. And then after this, we'll go ahead and we will talk about adding texture into the trunk if you want to. We'll talk about adding in any painted designs if you would like, and then we'll color. Okay, so go ahead and pause, keep working. I'm going to outline this. Okay, so here I have my elephant outlined. Right, if you want to, you can add in like a little bit more of a curve here and then the line down to give it more of like a belly with the leg kind of look. Right, and then we're going to talk about the eyes. So eventually when you go in to color in the eyes, some extra things that you can add to your eyes to make it look a little bit more realistic are like these little wings that come down on the inside here. See if I can angle this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So it's like the little curve that comes down, like giving it a tail. Just barely, just a little bit. You could add in that little dot inside of it when you color it in black to give it that life. Okay, see if you leave that little dot, it makes it look more alive. And elephants have actually some pretty long eyelashes. If you wanted to add in some eyelashes, you could. Just like little flicks up towards the outer side. Maybe like 3, 4. Just tiny little things. You don't have to do them, but it can help. Then, down the trunk, and I would say to do this with your pencil first. I'm going to start out with my marker so you guys can see what I'm doing. But down the trunk, we have these lines that go across all the way down. And I like to give them just a slight upwards curve to add to the like rounded look of my trunk. Right? And they start up a little bit higher, like right around between the eyes. They don't go all the way across. I might do 2 next to each other, or just 1 by itself. Once we get to the trunk where we have these lines, they might, you can alternate back and forth. They might go further across. You could do 2 next to each other. You could do 1 all the way across. But see how they have just a tiny bit of a curve. You don't need a huge curve. And how I'm doing them, some are closer together, some are further away, some are short or long. I'm gonna just add in these lines going